the whole idea is that okay, we create this platform for ethnic gaming and the men that love them. So whoever comes on Rumper, you are there because you want to date ethnic gaming, or you like ethnic gaming, or you want to be with ethnic gaming.
All right, this is Chris from Brothaspeak Podcast, where we actually speak to the innovative, the daring, and the bold in regards to providing informative topics for the Black LGBT. And I came across this particular app. Now, this app came to me from a particular follower that's actually in London, who actually has her own podcast. And I said, I never heard of this particular app before. Let me kind of do some investigation on this. And I reached out to the owner, Garfield, the founder and CEO of RUMPUR. I wanted to kind of find out more about it, so I actually joined, did a little bit of investigation myself, see the experience, and actually I found it pretty good. So I had to get the CEO and founder, Mr. Garfield. How you doing, Garfield?
I'm here, man. Definitely, thank you for having me.
Not a problem. I never actually had an interview with anyone who actually had an app or developed an app specifically for this, for the LGBT, Black LGBT, or just simply people of color. What made you come up with this particular idea?
Well, the idea came out of my son. My son is a gay man, and he went on an app. I think it was Grinder, and he was on the app talking to some guy, and the guy told him, he's too dark and he doesn't date, people that's too dark.
Wow.
So he was like, wow. He came and he told me, he was like, Dad, I taught like the LGBT community, everybody was, as one together. So that was like a surprise for me, and so I said, what do you mean? He was like, yes, this is the text. Here it is. So he showed it to me. And to make a long story short, I actually said, no, this cannot be real. I said, the gay population as a whole, is very marginalized.
Right.
We feel like they are just one unit. And he actually, brought that to my attention, and I was like blown away for him telling me that.
Oh, wow.
I did a lot of research, and I said, wow, went on Google, did more research, went on YouTube, and I see all these Black men talking about, the discrimination, on these apps, these gay dating apps, as far as, their encounter with white men. And so I was like, wow, this is something like, it's crazy to me. I never understand this.
Right.
So I said, let me do some more research. So I actually went out into the streets, went into the clubs in New York City, and I just basically just going around, asking questions and everything. And most Black gay men that I encountered would tell me the same story. So
Wow.
I was like,
Okay.
and I was like, wow, I said, this is crazy, So my son said to me, he was like, yo, Dad, I think we should do something about it. And I said, what do you mean do something about it? He was like, I think we should create our own app. I was like, so I burst out laughing. I said, are you serious? He was like, yes, and after that, he just fade away. And I never actually went to think about it after that. And like 2 months later, he came to me. He was like, are you still planning on doing the app? And everything started taking off from there, start snowballing from there.
Wait a minute. So just to make sure I'm understanding now, how old is your son?
My son is like 29 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is interesting. And so you sound like to me a very accepting father of his son. And
yes,
kudos to you, because a lot of people really haven't really received that. But you know what? It sounds like for you guys to actually go out your way to say, let's do something about this particular issue, to me, I think is very commendable. I was actually kind of surprised to hear the story. So
yes.
all right.
Yes.
So now your son and father and son going in this particular app business together to develop this app strictly to provide a need, and that's basically with the idea of taking out discrimination.
Exactly. It's basically like, no, we actually created a platform where, ethnic gay men could have a safe space to date without having to, encounter all the racism that's coming from white men. So the whole idea is that, okay, we create this platform for ethnic gay men, and the men that love them. So whoever comes on Rumpa, you are there because, you want to date ethnic gay men, or you like ethnic gay men, or you want to be with ethnic gay men.
Wow. Okay. All right.
you
Now,
know so this takes away, so this actually takes away the sting, where basically, like, we having a platform for ethnic gay men. You don't have to go on a white gay dating app. Here's a platform for you. So anybody wants to find you or looking for you or want to be with you, they could come on Rumpa. That's where it's at.
now, when you started the app, what was that process like? And because, well, first off, let me ask you: is your background or is your son's background within the software industry, within any of that, lines of IT understanding or software development, or?
No, no. My son background is basically as a school teacher. I have a little bit of background in IT. I was actually going to coding school, at the time.
Oh,
you know
okay.
so it was basically easy to get people on board, to come on board, as far as I went and sit with them and pitch the idea to them, and they was like, this is something awesome. And that's basically how everything, start moving from there.
Huh. So this is interesting. So now you got a school teacher and, of course, somebody with some expertise within the industry coming into a field that is highly popular, but also very competitive. And
Yeah, very competitive.
so when it comes to development, how long did it really take for you to develop an app?
Well, the process, it depends, as far as the features, it depends if you're trying to cram a lot of features into an app. It could take, anywhere from a year, to 2 years, because after you finish coding the app, you have to basically put the app in what you call it like a beta stage, where you have to, you release it. You have what you call it like a public beta, or you can have, like a private beta, where just, a private beta where you and a couple of your friends and family will actually, be testing the app, to make sure, everything is actually working smoothly,
Okay.
and then you could actually release it, as a public beta on, say, Apple or Google Play, and you could actually invite a lot of people to come and try the app out and give their feedback. So you get a lot of feedback, and you could go back and you say, okay, you actually dealing with the end user, and the end user would say, okay, this is not working, change this. This would be much more better. So you basically getting, first-hand information, from the user.
That's interesting. So there is a community. So Apple and other platforms like that specifically develop a community just to be able to help other apps correct themselves to kind of make it smoother for the market.
Exactly. You could, it's basically, you can have it, put it in what you call it, like a beta stage. A beta stage, is basically, like the trial stage. You're trying to work out all the kinks, you're trying to work out all the bugs to make sure the apps flow smoothly. Because the thing is this, right? Um, a person would try an app for the first time, and if it's a new app, you want to make sure, putting that app into the marketplace, everything is going smoothly. There are no bugs, there are no crashes or nothing like that, because you want the end user to actually, you know, be a part of this app. So if the end user is trying a new app, and the first time the end user tries the app, it crashes. There's a lot of bugs and everything. The end user, you know, he or she's going to delete the app, and they might never come back.
Right, right. That's absolutely correct.
Exactly. So it's always about, the user experience. The user experience got to be smooth. It got to be simple. It got to be easy. to navigate, and a lot of people make a lot of complicated apps, and I don't think it should be complicated. Everything should be there. And I mean, for the end user, shouldn't be searching all over the app trying to find how this works and how that works.
So, with you going through this process, how
Yeah.
long before you started getting all the bugs out of the system before you were ready to officially put it out to lunch?
Oh well, basically, we was working on like for a whole year before we actually, you know, said okay, we're gonna release the product. You know, because we had a lot of people that was giving us a lot of feedback to say change this, this could be better, take this out, put this in, you know,
Yeah.
and basically, we had Instagram, like, I mean, we had our page, like Instagram page, we just hit up people like randomly on our Instagram page and ask them a lot of questions, what they would actually like to see, in the app. And we got a lot of feedback that, because, the thing about it is that, you got to try to, like understand your user,
Right.
because they are the one that's going to use the product.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so it finally comes out on the market. What exactly did you discover in the process of putting it for launch? Once you got out all the opinions and got all the corrections, all the bugs, and ready for it, and now you say, okay, let's launch it this way. What was the initial thought process? Were you just going to simply launch it locally, launch it regionally? What was the process in terms of how you're going to make this launch?
Oh, the process was that, we said, okay, we're going to have a launch party, try to get the word out, you know, bring some people in, from the LGBT community who would basically, try to get a lot of press for the app to do the launch party, and get a lot of people out to speak about the app. That was the whole process, to actually get the app out in the first place. And, I was speaking to, like my mentor, and he told me, he said, listen, what you need to do is launch in your city first. He said, if you can lock your city down, then you can expand from there. And that's basically, what I did.
So, what city is this?
New York.
Ah, okay, okay. And so
Yeah.
you found the support from New York coming through first. A lot of people
Yes.
started signing up.
Yes. Yeah. We found a lot of support from New York and everything, and then everything starts snowballing from there. And we have a lot of people, from overseas too that was actually, downloading the app too.
Ah,
London. We had a lot of people from London, France. You know, a lot of people was downloaded the app.
nice, nice. Okay, so now that you're getting some feedback from your own town, backyard, then you start to slowly creep out, into the other cities and other states. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, basically, and like for the other states, you know, like like for the listeners and you who basically listening for the first time, we actually, launch a campaign on like Google AdWords. Google AdWords is basically, you buy ads on Google AdWords, and you actually, we show up in the search ranking, and people who search for certain keywords, we actually, we find, terms like ethnic gay men, they would actually see like Rumpa popped up, did advertisement, on Google and Apple. And that's how we start getting all the downloads from all these different cities like Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Chicago, California, and everything. And that's how everything start coming in.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like one of the most craziest thing is that, we actually drove to ATL Black Pride 13 hours all the way, to actually, get the app out, you know, all the way, no sleep, no nothing. We on the road and everything. So that was also a crazy moment, for the first time going to, a new city too, And when we went there too, we got a lot of love too. We were shown a lot of love, cause a lot of black men there was like, wow, this is very awesome, something definitely, we definitely need this.
Now, where did the any of the people that you were speaking to, did they tell you exactly what they're currently using now?
Yeah, well, some of the people that I was speaking to that was using Jack and everything, and and the funny thing like that, you know, they give you a really background story on Jack as a whole. When a lot of ethnic gay men were being discriminated on Grinder, there wasn't a black gay dating app out to, what I mean, for them to go on. So a lot of them went on Jack. People don't even know that Jack is owned by two old white men, basically.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Just like, if you could do the research, you see what happened with Jack, right? Jack was started, by this Asian kid, and he was so um, bogged down with work that he sold the company to these two old white gay men, and that's how Jack came into be. And they had the money, to actually scale the company, to all these users and everything. Same as what you see, a lot of people is on like Black People Meat. A lot of people don't even know that Black People Meat is owned by a white guy. So a lot of people don't know the research and the history behind these companies.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So I'm just letting people know that. So sometimes you got to know, what you're supporting.
Now, the thing about it is, now, have you found that in this process, because I'm sure, I believe it actually was mentioned by several people who are within the IT industry, that there seems not to be a lot of African American people within industries like this, like the IT industry, software industry, and the app
Yes.
development. So, is that something that you discovered in the process, or you already knew?
Well, I discovered that in the process that, even it's a struggle right now, when you really look at the IT space, and even look at the IT space. The IT space is basically like a very, very white space where, all the money that flows, as far as venture capitalists goes, are flowing from white men to white men. Even white females are actually being discriminated as far as getting funded, you know, uh, in the venture capitalist space. Like 0.1% of minorities ever get funded, by venture capitalists, and
0.1%.
yes, sir, 0.1%. And you could do your research on that too. Yeah, ever get funded, by, you know, venture capitalists, because you got to understand, right? Um, Racism, is very, you know, systemic in this country, right? And it's the same way, like how, you know, before you see before you see a gay black man, right? You see a black man first. Before you see a gay white man, you see a white man first. So you got to understand, with like institutional racism and everything that goes on, within this country, everything flows, from one sector to the other. That's why you continue to see, people speaking about, like diversity, you know, like within tech, within the technology sector, we need more black engineers. We need more black, coders. We need more black people to get involved in tech. This is one of the most like interesting time in history where you could basically make a lot of money. You could get wealthy. The internet is there. You just got to come up with a good idea, and execute it real well and everything. Come up with a need that people want. Because a lot of people create companies, and they fail because there is not a need for the product. There's a need for rumper. There's an issue, with ethnic gay men having problem, on white dating site, and that's why rumper was created, because it was created because of a need. There's a pain point, with ethnic gay men. What I mean? Like I told you, my son and my brother, they are both gay. So they have the problem. They told me firsthand what the issue is. I just took what they told me, and investigated more and everything, and ran with it and came up with Rumpa. So in the tech sector is that, my thing is that I said to, you know what, everybody's doing um, music, rap music. Everybody is into, entertainment, sports, and everything. And I said, I want to make a difference, for black people, young black boys and girls, to show them, like, listen, you don't have to rap, you don't have to get into sports or nothing like that. You could get into tech and you could change a whole lot of things. You could change a whole lot of things, for your community and for black people as a whole. You could put yourself up as a beacon of hope, so people to say, okay, this guy, he didn't went into music, he didn't went into sport, he went into the technology sector and he made a change. So for one thing, we have, with Rumpur, that I would like to accomplish, is a code school, for young black boys and girls, who are in these communities that probably don't know what they want to do with their future and everything like that, and teach them coding. Because the thing about it is that once they learn coding, you know, they basically could go anywhere with that skill. It's a skill that you could take all over the world,
Wow.
wherever you are, Mexico, Canada, Jamaica, wherever. Once you have coding skill under your belt, you know, you will survive. You know, you will survive. Because right now with tech, they are looking for engineers. They are looking for coders and everything. And if you could code your butt off, you will have a position, and you could even use your own coding skill to start your own companies, and you could give a lot of black people jobs and everything like that, and you could create a future for you and your family. you know
I'm going to ask you more questions about that because it's kind of funny you mentioned that because I just told
yeah,
my brother who just got out of prison, and
yeah,
I said, I think for both of us, as one, I took it as a thing for me. One, I'm open to learning anything anyway. And I said, why don't we go to find out more about coding? In your process, for you being in the industry, is it something that's difficult for people to get into? Did you find
no,
it
no,
was
no, no, I don't think it's difficult to get into. Like if you go on the internet, they have code school. You can just type in Google, and and ask Google, and lists, like coding school in your city, and a lot of them will actually, pop up, in your search ranking, and if there's a school that's close to you, you could go to, a lot of these coding schools too, they'll offer you, free training, and in return, they will actually find you a job, say at Facebook, at Google, at Twitter or any one of these software companies in return, for a percentage, of your income, just for a period of time, so you could pay them back and everything like that. So there's a lot of coding programs that's out there that you could go to, and they are free. It's basically, the information is that, a lot of black folks, or brothers and sisters, we don't have that information, and a lot of us don't know a lot, and we probably not moving in the right circle for people to open our eyes to show us that, okay, we could do this. We don't have to, risk our freedom to sell drugs, or risk our freedom, to do anything illegal out there, end up in prison. You know?
this is very interesting. So, in the process, you not only discovered the amount of actually true venture capitalists really giving to minority companies are extremely low, uh,
Very low.
but
And I just want to expand a little bit more in that.
sure.
You gotta understand too, with all right, say for example, right, you have all these, like these Ivy League college, like Yale, Stanford, Brown, Duke, Columbia, Harvard, right? All these guys went to school together. The Mark Zuckerbergs, the Steve Jobs, the Bill Gates. It's like all these guys go to school together. So the funny thing about it is that you know you have what you call it. The Bros Club. That's what you want to call it. They call it the Bros Club, where they get a lot of VCs, right? A lot of venture capitalists. They get money from like hedge funds, pension funds, right? Uh, uh, like college endowments, right? And the colleges, you know, give these venture capitalists money to invest for them. That's how these venture capitalists get so much money, and what they do, they invest these millions of dollars or billions of dollars that they get from these, pension funds and these hedge funds, and these endowments, and they give the colleges or the hedge funds or the endowment a huge return back on the investment. So this is how they get the money, you know, and they are called LPs. The LPs or the colleges, the hedge funds, and the pension funds. They are called LPs, and LPs stand for like limited partners. So if you could get a lot of money, if you're a white guy, you could go into, you know, a college, say Harvard, and people, you have a lot of contacts, and you could make a pitch and say, okay, well, you know, I need this amount of money, such and such, and I could give you this much of return, on such and such, sure, the college is going to take a chance on you and everything. And once, you go out and take that money, and you basically say, okay, I invest in this company and this and that company, and you made a nice return for these colleges and these pension funds and everything, you're going to constantly get money from them to make new investments and everything. See, people don't understand, like, this is America, it's a capitalist system, and even the colleges want to make money. The colleges got stocks, they got bonds, they got everything. Just like how like a regular company has stocks and bonds and everything. That's why they charge these students so much money. What I mean, for like college tuitions, because a lot of these college tuitions, end up becomes investment dollars.
Right. You're absolutely correct. So now, in the process of knowing this information and knowing exactly what you're up against, how did you actually fund this whole project? Did you do it yourself? Did you actually get angel investors?
Oh, well, at this moment, I haven't any investors on board, but I fund this whole project on my pocket.
Oh wow! So you've been in
Yeah.
all. Now, was it a family thing between your brother, yourself, and your son, or was it just strictly you?
Yeah, it was me, it was me, my brother, and a, a school teacher that I actually brought on board, who actually believe in what I was doing and everything like that. And she said, I want to support this, and she
Okay.
came on board. Yeah.
Wow. So now this the pretty much it sounds like a family business. What does your son play in this business? What role does he play?
Well, my son basically now he's like he's on the sideline. Like if we was to go somewhere, he may give a few speak here and there and everything, but he's more like into schooling and everything like that. He just let me do everything since I'm more into tech. I'm like heavily into tech. I'm obsessed with tech. I'm passionate about tech and everything like that.
Wow. And your brother?
Yeah, my brother, he plays a role as far as marketing and everything like that. He has a marketing degree from Syracuse University, so he comes on board, and we sit down and we actually plan out where we're gonna go, where we're gonna hit, how we're gonna execute it and everything.
Gotcha.
Because you could have the best idea, like I tell people, you could have the best idea in the world. It's all about on the execution. you know
Yes.
can you execute it? Can you scale it, to a large number of people, so they could know that the product exists, you know?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's how it is. Because, we got to understand that ideas are a dime a dozen. A lot of people have ideas and stuff, but they can't execute it. And, a lot of people have ideas and they don't know how, to run a company, because a lot, like even with the app have so many moving parts and everything like that. It's like, sometimes, you go through anxiety, sometimes you go through stress, sometimes you want a phone dealing with marketers, sometimes you want a phone dealing, with advertisers, and there's so many things that goes on, they're trying to get an app to, to market, and, And just like with everything, whether it's a basketball team, whether it's a corporation and everything, you have to have a team. Your team is what's going to get you, to the next level. You have to have a team where everybody is on the same page, you know,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
have this grand vision of where we want to get to. No, you can't have an app and say, okay, one person is going to do this. And no, you need to have a team. You need to have a solid team, because when you go to investors and everything like that, they want to know that they are investing their money into somebody that's going to give them, some type of return on their investment. So they want to know that, in case in point, for example, if you were to say, okay, you want to invest in me, you want to make sure that, you invest in your money in the right person, because you don't want to lose your money, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Exactly. So, when you go to investors, you got to make sure, you know, you present, how you could minimize the risks of them investing their capital into your company.
Now, knowing all this that's coming across, and now you have to say, well, wait a minute, all this money that we have spent, now we have to figure out a way to bring this money in. How is that? How's the model of making money from an app? I do begin to see when it comes to games. They actually charge you to upgrade to get coins and things of that nature. Trust me, I know because I do play spades.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
So,
yeah,
but I've always thought I've been curious when it comes to a lot of apps. I know a lot of apps says, well, you have the option of upgrading. You have
yeah,
the option of
definitely.
upgrading, and you have
Yeah,
the
you have the
go ahead.
yeah, you have the option of upgrading. Like a lot of apps. They have different business model where you have the subscription business model where people pay uh per month to use the service. Say for example, like a Spotify, or say for example, like a Tinder or what the case may be, and then you have your freemium model where on the basic tier you would give away a lot of stuff free, but if users want to upgrade, they could actually pay for upgraded features.
And is that the model that you're following?
Well, basically, our model is basically, it could change from now, because it's a new app. It could change from now. It could change from tomorrow. Depends on how the team, you know, sit down and we basically, come together and say, okay, this is basically the best model to go with.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Now, in regards to the response so far, how's everything going?
Everything is going great, because a lot of people is just finding about the app and everything like that, and we're getting a lot of downloads every day, so the word is getting out.
And I found it. What I mostly find very interesting about the story is the fact that I love the fact that it's one a father and son and brother that actually decide to say let's go this particular route to fulfill a need. And I do hear an accent though. I do hear a little bit of
Yes,
accent.
yes,
Where do
yes,
you
yes,
come from?
yeah. Yeah, I'm from the Caribbean. I'm from Jamaica, man.
Okay, okay. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's kind of funny because, especially coming from Jamaica, have you also kind of watched the progress in terms of gay pride within Jamaica?
Oh yeah, and I think it's basically something. I'm saying very interesting to watch and everything. So maybe the people are getting much more accepting, or maybe getting much more like tolerant, even though a lot of people may say, okay, they don't agree with this or they don't agree with that.
Exactly, and because I've actually have a lot of Caribbean friends myself, and they definitely tell me that it's a different mentality when you go to the countryside, but definitely in places like Kingston, it's welcomed. It's kind of known that
Yes, 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 definitely. If you was to go like to the countryside and everything like that, um you basically find more, you know, what you call it, more problems if you go to the countryside, more so than if you was into the city, because the city is much more different from the countryside.
right,
More people in the countryside, they still have these old values that they still stick to, and they're not going to change.
right, right, right. So in this
Yeah.
particular case, right now is that also a plan to go into places like Kingston or Jamaica to be able to get more people on top of the app to join the app?
Well, it's so to to basically tell you, I was basically looking at the app the other day, and I saw two or three users signed up from out of Kingston and everything like that. But you know, the app basically is a universal app, and we're gonna see people from all over, you know, coming on Rumper and everything. I've seen so many people, from, Germany, like I said, Australia on the app, So, it's just in due time, once the word get out, because I tell you, the app is still a baby. A lot of
Yes.
people don't even, a lot of people don't even know about the app yet.
Well, now they
So,
will.
but but like I said, getting the interview with you and everything that hopefully they will, and we go into these prides and everything coming up, because we're going to DC Pride the 25th, so
Nice.
we actually going out there to do a lot of promo. Then we're going to you know Dallas Pride to do some promo. So we making the rounds.
Nice. Nice.
We making the rounds, going out there, to let people know, because, like I said, a lot of people when it comes to business, they don't understand. Having the product is one thing, but you got to go out there and sell, 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 sell. You be a salesman. Be everywhere. Let people know that that you exist.
Yes.
So that's the whole premise of this. You have to go out there and sell. People won't know that you have a product unless you go out there and let them know that you have a product. And the thing about it is that a lot of people, they are good at creating products, but they are not good salesmen or
Right.
or saleswomen.
Now, any particular person that's kind of inspired you along the way to take this journey and to run with it? Any particular person at all?
Well, let me see. As far as I think basically when I really look at the whole tech space, and I don't see too many people that look like me and everything like that. I took it upon myself and I said, you know what? I want to make a difference, man. I said everybody want to do basketball, everybody want to do music and everything like that. I said, listen, you know, I want to change the game. I want to change the game. You know, so other black coders, other black founders, could look to me and say, you know what? This guy basically did it and everything like that. You know what I mean? Because, my thing is like this, what I'm saying? I'm not anti-white or nothing like that, but I'm for my people. I'm for my black people. I
Right.
don't care you great. I don't care if you gay, straight, purple, pink, or what the case may be. What I mean? Black people, has been, at the bottom, what I mean, for so long and everything like that. And we had our Black Wall Street. What I mean? That was actually, tore down. What I mean? And the story about, what I mean, how that go and
Yes.
everything like that. So, it's about time, what I mean, that we basically, what I mean, start build back, what I mean, nation building and everything like that. I mean, because we can't sit here, what I mean, and build nobody else stuff. What I mean, we have to build our own thing. So my thing is that, I mean, here on your show, and I mean, on the podcast, to let brothers know, like, listen, instead of you take that money and go buy, you know, a sneaker that costs $5 to make in China, and and they bring the sneaker over here, and you go to Nike and buy a sneaker for $320 and stuff like that. You could take that money and buy some stocks in
Right.
Nike.
Of
So
course.
so instead of you have 500 pairs Air Jordan, you could have 500 shares of I mean, of Nike stocks. That's much more better. That's something that you could build on, something that you could leave your child. So my thing is this, I mean, I'm about like asset building, I mean, for us and our community. I mean, just like Malcolm X said, everybody come into our community, and they make money off us, and they set up shop and everything. But we can't go into their community, and do nothing. We can't go into Chinatown, and open up, like a West Indian restaurant or nothing like that. They would chase us out. But here it is, they could come into our community and they could basically open up, a Chinese restaurant, and they take all the money and stuff like that. And for 365 days of the whole year, they won't even give back nothing to the kids to say, okay, it's summertime. The kids are about to go back to school. Let's buy them, some pencils and some books, and and some book bag. Nobody gives back nothing. They just take, 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 take. You know what I mean?
Right, right. So basically, more about black empowerment for you, also.
Exactly. So this is about black empowerment. It's about, trying to change everything that's going on. We can't just sit here and just become, consumers, consumers, consumers. Remember, we in America are just basically just at 12 or 13%, of the population, and yet, I'm saying we have a spending power of $1,300,000,000,000.
Yes, that's true.
That's a lot of money.
A lot.
You know what I mean? That's a lot of money. And when it comes, it's like, you got to understand, with Jew people, like the money circulate in their neighborhood. Like basically like 20 times before he leaves. With us, as soon as we get it, it goes straight out of out of our pocket.
Now, why is that? Why do you believe that when it comes to, and now, is it because some of the resources that really, when it comes to our own neighborhoods, they're not necessarily created by black or people of color businesses within their own neighborhoods, and we have no choice to go out? Or is it because of the fact that we just don't find the value within our own community to put forth within our own communities?
Well, basically, I think it comes from, like, I'm like lack of education too. That's basically what it do. It comes from lack of education and everything like that. Because if you around people that's going to instill certain values in you and everything like that, to say, okay, well, we could start something, we could build something, what the case may be. Then something could get started. But if you around people and everything like that, and everybody's doing the same thing, you're gonna actually follow them and do the same thing.
Okay.
Because I always tell people all the time, I say, even when people buying Gucci and and all these expensive designer brand, you basically supporting people that don't even like you at the end of the day. And at the same time too, and everything that all this money you spending with them, they're not putting nothing back into your community. And you got to understand, you can't sit and wait for people who has basically enslaved you for 400 years to actually come, and say, yo, you know what? I'm saying, I've been having my foot on your neck for the last 400 years. I'm here to help you, to raise you up. You got to look to your own self, and your own peoples to raise you up. So it goes back, like I said, to the mindset.
About educating your community and making people aware of the
Exactly,
opportunities keep created. So really, what I'm hearing from Rumper, what I'm hearing from you, is that Rumper is kind of the start, not just for the LGBT, but for everyone within the community for people of color, for black people
exactly.
in particular. So
Exactly.
Rumper may be one aspect, but really by being a part of Rumper and being supportive of Rumper has the plans to do a lot more for the community, is what I'm
Exactly, exactly. Because at the end of the day and stuff like that, we see that a lot of ethnic gay men, and are going through, like mental health crisis. We see a lot of ethnic gay men, and that are employed and everything like that. Like I told you, the code school that I want to start and everything like that. A lot of ethnic men could come there, and could get coding skill for free and go out into the world and everything like that, and try to change their life and try to change other people's life and everything. So it's just not just on one aspect, but I see the grand vision, that Rumper could be a lot of things.
Right, right. I really am happy that I actually interviewed you. Now, it's not to say that I don't necessarily receive that at times, but every now and then you need a bit of reminder that it's not just because you're coming into a particular industry, doesn't necessarily mean it's all for self. It's about more than that. And I think a lot of the podcasts that I do actually kind of reflects that, but definitely to spell it out and say this, you have the plans to do more within your own community. I really appreciate that. And I also appreciate the fact that you are a father, and you're sounding to me a proud father sounding to me a very successful gay man who is also a teacher and teaching
Yeah,
the
man.
world. So,
Yeah, I feel like this, right? I feel like, I feel like the black community is so caught up, into this whole Bible thing and everything like that, where basically, you know, they use the Bible, in a way, to justify a lot of things. But I feel like this, it doesn't matter, man. What your child is, unconditional love is first. You can't tell me that you love me today, and just because I tell you, like, oh, dad, I'm this, or, mom, I'm this, you say, yo, get out of my house, or don't come, or I don't want to see you no more, or don't come back around here, what the case may be. I think that's fake. You don't never stop loving a person. You
right,
know what I mean?
right,
You don't never start. The love got to be unconditional. If the love is not unconditional as a parent, the love, I look at it like the love wasn't real. From the start. So a lot of black parents don't understand when you kick your gay child out into the streets and everything like that. You know, the streets is a cold place. You don't know where they. No, you don't know where they're getting a hot meal from. You don't know where they're sleeping. You don't know, what's going on with them. And a lot of these kids are out in these streets and everything like that, getting abused by people.
right, right. They
You know
are.
what I mean?
They are. It's a
So
tremendous problem.
a lot of these kids are homeless, man. A lot of these kids, today, even while I'm speaking right now, maybe some gay kid is somewhere scared. Don't have a place, to take a shower, don't have somewhere, to get a hot meal and everything like that. So people don't understand, like, you actually throwing out your kid and everything like that, and don't know, because you worrying about what somebody else saying, or you worrying about, how you might look and everything like that. Pardon my language, man, but you shouldn't care about what people think about you, having love for your child.
Right. You're
You know what I
absolutely right.
mean?
You're
You
absolutely right.
know, you shouldn't care about what nobody say about, you listening, but so many people are so focusing on, what people are gonna think about them, or how they're gonna look, or the case maybe. Why should you care? Because at the end of the day, I tell people like this, if you know how quick people, I'm like, forget the dead, you will stop worrying about what people think of you and live your life. Period.
That's correct. That's
You know
correct.
what I mean?
Let me tell you, Garfield, I am very happy I spoke to you. I'm very excited that a lot of this particular app, Rumper, which I am now a member of, is
Thank
actually
you, man. Thank you,
going to
man.
be going to be out there for people to kind of take them away from the aspect of being discriminated against and just simply seek for one thing, love, or just seek a partner.
Exactly.
At the end of the
Like,
day, that's what we all deserve and that's what we all want. So I can honestly say I will definitely put this information out. I will definitely promote this information as much as possible so everyone's aware of Rumper. And to go out and download Rumper is very easy. Where do you find it? Where can you go get your app?
they could get it on the Google Play, or they could get it, on the Apple App Store.
Okay. There's so basically looking on
Yeah.
Google Play and also the Apple Store itself.
Yeah, or they could just go to the website, at rumper.com, and they could just basically go on there, and they could just click on it, and it would take them straight to the App Store too. So if they want to go to the website, they could go to the website and download it from the website too.
Awesome, awesome. And by the way, before I leave, there's a particular person who's well known within the IT industry, but also in the gay community, and he is also of the LGBT community. Are you aware already of Emil Wilbekin? Wilbekin?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. You probably what I'll do. I'll send some information over to you. Apparently, he has an organization also, but he's also well within the IT industry, and he actually talks about how a lot of people, especially minority and LGBT, need to really come more into the IT industry, look into that, and look into other aspects too. So he is definitely well known. I'll send you his name, and not to say I know him personally, even though I did reach out to him to come to the podcast.
Yeah, I'm definitely grateful, because like I said, whichever information flows my way, I'll always reach out to people and everything like that, because that's the thing. Like, it goes back to what I tell you. I'm never scared to reach out to people and everything like that. I go to a lot of these uh, like code camp and code school, and I just walk up to people and say like, "Hi, my name is Garfield, and I mean I'm the founder and CEO of RUMPUR," and da da da. And the conversation just started. You cannot be scared, to engage with people and everything. Some people, might brush you off. Some people might give you a card and they might never call back, or whatever the case may be. But you know what? They always say, if you knock on 10 doors and 10 people say no, keep knocking on the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, because somebody else will answer and open the door and say, yes, I want to let you in. So you just cannot give up and everything like that. Like, if you go back, and you listen to the story, of Fubu, founder and CEO, Damian John, he just keep pounding and pounding when he went to like 15 banks or 18 banks, and they keep saying no, no, no. You just cannot stop, you know?
Sound like the power of an entrepreneur.
Yes, yes. You
They do-
cannot stop, man. You know what I mean?
cannot stop.
Yeah, you cannot stop, See, a lot of people don't understand it. I mean, a lot of people fear, rejection and fear this, and I mean, but you have to conquer your fears, and the way you conquer your fears, and I mean, you have to run into fear. You have
Exactly.
to run into fear. That's how you conquer your fears and everything like that. Because the most people could tell you is no. That's it. You know what I mean? And what you're gonna do, take one no, and you're gonna be like, oh man, or people may say, oh man, and I mean, that app is trash, and then you're gonna put it in your mind and be like, oh no, 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 no. You know what I mean? That's just one person's opinion, and I mean, from over 3 point something billion people on the planet.
Exactly. You know what?
You know,
Let me tell you, I think that a lot of people are going to take a good look at this particular app. And I think a lot of people are going to be willing to, number one, it doesn't take much to join. It's just a very easy process. I did it myself to be able just to simply log onto the app, give you information, and hey, you may find a lot of people in your area, you may not, but at the same time, just remember it's a growing app.
it's a growing entity. You gotta let people know. We always let people know this. And this is a new entity. What I mean, this is a new platform and everything like that. And the funny thing about it, I tell people all the while, you cannot complain no more that you are being discriminated on white dating apps, because we went out and we created a platform specifically for ethnic gay men. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So support it. Black people, you need to go out. Ethnic gay men, LGBT community, trans people, what I mean, wherever, what I mean. We don't discriminate against nobody, what I mean, everything. We cannot say that we fighting against discrimination and racism, and then we discriminate against people. Anybody could get on the app, what I mean. You part of the LGBT community, you're welcome to make a profile and be on the app. We not kicking off nobody on the app like how Tinder is treating LGBT people and kicking people off, what I mean, they dating app and everything like that. Grinder was kicking off LGBT people, what I mean, trans people off their dating app and everything like that. So we are an inclusive app, I mean, because that's what we are for. If you as a black person have been discriminated for 400 years, and still today still being discriminated and everything, you walk down the street, and I mean, police pull you over, um, you know, pro, profiling, racial profiling. You know what discrimination is feel like. So you can't say, what I mean, you for black people. You can't say, what I mean, you for, uh, um, you know, black people rising up and everything like that, but you want to discriminate against trans people and everything. I feel like, I mean, it's bullshit. If you say, this seriously, I mean, pardon my language, be on this podcast, but you just got to give it 1000%, what I mean? And I'm passionate about this stuff, what I mean? Like I said, my son and my brother, they are part of this community and everything that is. So I'm like a part of this community right now, as an ally in this community right now. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Awesome.
Definitely.
All right, guys.
And
This
I
you
and I and I definitely love this community, man. I mean, I met some awesome people. I mean, the other night when I went to Philly and everything like that, gave me their number and said, "Listen, man, they like what I'm doing and everything." They said, "Listen, when you come back to Philly, you need any help, we are here." You know.
Wow.
So there's a lot
So
of people
support's
like,
coming through. It's definitely
yeah,
support's
support's coming in, support's coming through, man.
Awesome, awesome, man.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate you coming by on the show. And again, I'm telling everybody, you must download RUMPUR, RUMPUR, and you will definitely find some good-looking black men in the area. I'm pretty sure you'll definitely be surprised. But also keep in mind, like I said, to be a part of a growing entity, to be a part of a growing app, everyone, whether they're a website or an app, all start the same way. Jack included, Grinder included. RUMPUR is going to be the next to be able to be for us. Thank you so much for coming on, Garfield.
And yeah, and I just want to add too, we're gonna be, you got to understand too, with Jack and Scruff and Grinder and stuff like that, they have been, so complacent for so long into the space, that they have never, added any extra features, or the case may be. So RUMPUR is gonna be one of the first to have, video chat coming this summer. So listen. If you put up a fake profile, we're gonna find out who is hiding behind that profile. So yes, So let everybody know, video chat is coming, so you can see whoever is on there. You can speak to them live and get a feeling, of the person, before you take them out on a date or take them to the movie or whatever the case may be. Because guess what? We're living in an age, of visual, and people want to see visual, and we said, you know what, we're going to incorporate this feature and beat Jack and Grinder and Scruff to the punch, because they have been complacent for so long, and we're coming into this space, and we're coming in with a vengeance, man. I'm telling you.
Innovation that you heard directly from CEO and founder. RUMPUR will be one of the first to have a video chat on their app. So
on their app, we have, we have to move away, from just pictures and everything that people want to talk to people in real time. Like basically, if I was on an app, and I messaged somebody and I was like, yo, I want to see you on video so I can see what you look like. I don't want to meet you in the club later on and stuff like that. And the picture that you put up, when I meet you is not the picture, of you when I see you.
And that's a very interesting component, because most people have conversations and say, they'll ask you, do you have WhatsApp app, or do you have an app like that to where you can be able to video chat?
Exactly.
So you know what? Yeah, I think it's a very smart component. I think it's an awesome thing. Awesome.
So we add that feature, in the app, and it's coming this summer and everything like that. It's already finished coding and everything like that, and we working out all the bugs and all the kinks to make sure when we put it in, it flows smoothly without no glitches. So look out for it. All right.
Awesome. This is good.
Yes.
This is a really, really good thing. And let me tell you again, I think everyone should download it, get on top of it. If you don't, it's gonna pass you by. You'll be the last person to join it, but don't be the
last. And I want to thank thank you, man. For having me, man. And I look forward again, man. To be on your show again to give you more updates on what's going on, man.
Of course, you are more than happy to welcome to the show. Anytime that you want to be able to give an update, I'm more than happy to put it out there. I love exactly what you're doing. I love what you stand for. Love everything about it.
Yes, my brother, man. One love, man. And peace to everybody out there, man.
All right, you heard it first. This is Chris from Brothaspeak Podcast signing off. Have a wonderful day.
All right, you too, my brother.